Of all the things, where did it go? All right, back on air. As ugly as that opening sequence was, the intro seemed to have disappeared just as I was about to like launch into it, and I really wanted to use that intro because I spent like a whole 20 minutes making the bit. Yeah, so I really wanted to use it. So on the show tonight, I am going to make at least one cocktail. I am going to chat about at least one spirit. I'm going to demonstrate at least one piece of kit that I've got, if I can find it somewhere over there. I'm going to feature a video from someone who has sent one of their quarantine cocktail videos in. And for the first time ever, we've got Mitch's Minute, where Mitch answers a question to the best of his ability. Yeah, me and my toys. Toys all over the place. So let me just reel off. Look, got a wireless keyboard so I can look this way and hopefully change angles. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Oh yeah. See that? Right, and look, there's even a third angle. This is like behind the bar vision. And oh wow, look at that. You can see my monitor, and then in that you can see my monitor in the monitor with the monitor, and then that's what you call infinite entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll start by wrapping up. Over the weekend, I had a lovely weekend. I took some time off from doing this show. It's actually, I love doing it, but it's like coming up with content's not easy, huh? I kind of figured loads of people would send me stuff, but I have to chase people, which is fine. I can chase people, but I'm not the best at forward planning. So today, fortunately, I got Mitch's Minute, which is my golden thing. I just really wanted to get Mitch on the show, at least for a minute, and hopefully every single day, or at least once a week. I also got a video from Daniele. He's making his own podcast. I think it's only on Facebook, but he's got his handles at the end of it. I thought I'd start the show with him. He's been a big supporter of the show so far. He watches every episode. And for me personally, I think it's a great thing that bartenders are getting out there and sharing, their experience, their passion for drinks, their creativity. These guys open with, there's two of them, because two of them feature in the video. I know that much. But they open with a nice creative beginning. It's not just like, hi, my name is Dean, and today I'm going to make you a cocktail. This cocktail was invented in 1816. Nah, it's not going to happen. They're doing some entertaining stuff, and he's like all chilled out on the couch. You're going to love it. So I'll start with him. Let's see. And he is, oh, did you see that? I didn't even use the...
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Casting Couch.
No, that's tomorrow.
My friend, I want to thank Mario and the guy from Spirit Cartel to put together this friendly competition. So we're making drink at home with whatever we got. Today we're gonna make a very, very homemade gold rush. So what you need for a gold rush, you need 4 roses, you need bees. If you don't have bees, alternatively you can buy some honey and make some honey water at home. If you don't have lemon, because we also need a lemon, you can use lime. Basically I don't have much of what we need, but we'll sort it out. So that's gonna be my shaker today, and these are gonna be my 4 roses. 50 ml, please be precise. 51 probably, it's fine. 20 ml of honey water, and 25 ml of lime today. Some ice. And if you have any cook glass, You can use a cabbage, because why not? Cheers to you. Thank you, Mario. Amazing.
All right, we're back. So, I love the opening to that, especially with the blurred face. I don't even know how to do a blurred face. I'm tempted to look it up on a Final Cut and figure out how to do it so I can add it to some of my videos. Thought that was really cool. Yeah, so it's great to see so many people doing that sort of thing. If you've got a show that you're doing, or let's say you know someone who's doing one, let me know. I'd love to share it out with as many people as possible. Use this as a platform to get other people's stuff out there. Right, so the cocktail today. I was chatting to Mitch of the Oh No Bushel over the weekend, and I also got the great opportunity to feature in his wife's podcast from LA. She's based in LA, but the Collectif 1806. They have a bunch of different brand ambassadors representing some Remy Cointreau products across the US, and they're doing their own like kind of live show. I think it's 3 p.m. their time, or as the clocks have gone forward now, 11 p.m. here. So I stayed up. When I say stayed up, I mean we're going to bed quite early now because we're putting our baby to bed at 8:30 at night, and then we have to be dead quiet. So I'm actually going to bed pretty early these days. But I stayed up. I come back out here. I cleaned up the cabin a little bit, and I featured on Karen's show, which was amazing. And afterwards, I was so buzzed. I needed to call them and have a chat about it. And Mitch was drinking what he calls a rum Toronto, right? It's not the most creative name for a drink. I'm not gonna lie. I would have tried to find a different city. I guess the name Toronto, if you don't know the Toronto cocktail, comes from it being rye whiskey or Canadian rye whiskey, it specifies in some recipes. So Toronto makes sense, Canada, but Mitch wants to call it a rum Toronto. If Mitch is watching, which I hope he is, argue with him in the comments. Or no, he said we rum Toronto, which is a pun on we run Toronto. That's pretty cool. That's a bit better than just rum Toronto. But yeah, I'm going to make it. So, you might have these ingredients in your home bar if you're a bartender. If you're not a bartender, there's little real chance you're going to have Fernet Branca, unless you're a Fernet Branca drinker. And you also like rum. Rum and Fernet Branca. That's what's going in this. So, we start with some orange bitters. 1, 2, 3 of the orange bitters. It has 12.5 ml of sugar syrup, which I can't measure 12.5 ml. I'm gonna ocular measure 12.5 ml. I'm just gonna assume that is my 12.5 ml Funkin'. Loving the Funkin' since they sent me some Funkin' stuff. I need to use that actually. I should use some Funkin' stuff tomorrow. So on the weekend, Mitch was using rum from Panama. So the first time I made it with some Plantation Panama. So we're going to do it with Plantation Panama. So 60 ml Plantation Panama. If you work in ounces, then 2 ounces, 2 fluid ounces, I guess you could say, not by weight. So the rum Toronto, yeah. Thanks, Mitch. That's what I said. I did say that. Right, so where did I put the Fernet? Ah, right there. Fernet Branca. We're doing a full ounce. No, 20 mils. So if you're in the US, 3/4 ounce, 22.5, 20 mils. Right, wait. There we go. 20 Fernet Branca. It's kind of like Manhattan-ish, kind of, you could say, but not really. That would make sense for the name Toronto, Let's chop this ice up a little bit more. Right, so for anyone that's tuning in, who tuned in on Friday because they want to win a book, great. That's just great. I'm going to make you wait a little bit longer to see if you've won the book, so you don't just disappear right away on me. Not that I can see how many people are watching, but I'm assuming there's more than one person. I know Mitch is watching. I've seen his comment. Fucking-tastic measurement. Funkin-tastic measurement. Oh, I see what you did there. That's funkin' awesome stuff. We love enough funkin' puns. Right, so give this a stir. I don't think it matters how many times you stir. Just if you get it cold and dilute. Right. This is pretty cold ice. Like this one here is so frosty. Let me see if I can get a better view of that. Look. Frosty. It's very frosty. So it's fairly cold. So we know that given how cold it is, it's not going to dilute straight away. So I'm going to give it a nice long stir. I want it cold as well. Backward the other way, back this way, like an upright washing machine. And then, if you haven't seen one of these, they're awesome. Eric Lorentz's Hawthorne. And then, bam, chilled glass. And with stirred drinks, I like to make it so that there's no extra agitation in it. Get nice and close. Oh yeah, look at that. So Mitch says, in his own words, that an orange twist sometimes like takes away from some of the spiciness of the drink. I'm still going to put an orange twist, you know. I like orange twists. I love that like orange twistiness. It's so good. I don't know how to describe it. The kind of citrusy floral note that comes from an orange twist. I don't like the garnish necessarily having to hang out in the drink. So I ditch the twist after I twist. So I ditch the peel after I twist it. Right, so let's see how drunk I was on Friday. Because this tasted like heaven on Friday. So let's see. How was I over inebriated on Friday? Oh, no, don't go to sleep early, go to bed early. Exactly. Danny the Hat has checked in. Danny the Hat, I know that you're like working in the Caribbean, making bajillions of pounds. So in case you're interested in a new hat, I have this. Oh yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind anti-tinker thinker hat. For those who are worried about people tinkering with their thinker and are like maybe doomsday preppers. Doomsday preppers are the perfect people to buy these hats, right? In case you don't want the government finding out what you're thinking about, the anti-thinker tinker hat, right? Stop the thinkering from being tinkered with, right? I'm now discounting that from the previous 449 to 399. 399. You can buy that for 399. You will own it. I will post it to you, free postage. And then all the proceeds will go to Sergio Lianza of Funky Dory Bar. And then he can do with those proceeds what he wishes. Right, so with no further ado, let's find out from the maybe Frank hat who's won, right? Oh, wait. Would it be unfair to put that back in now that I can see? Well, that's the winner, I guess. Kevin Nee? Is there a Kevin Nee watching? Was there a Kevin Nee watching last time? If you're watching, Kevin, you have won. You need to just, here we go. Look at this. Get that angle in. There we go, Kevin. You need to get in touch, Kevin, and let us know. I'm going to keep this just in case you don't get in touch. You have until the beginning of the show tomorrow, right? because then I can't be hanging around. I'm just going to order it on Amazon and send it to you. So you need to let me know. We'll get a DM going, and then I can post you a copy of the book. And it's an excellent book. In case you forgot what it was, it's Schofield's Fine and Classic Cocktails. And the boys have promised that after I've posted you the book and you've got to digest it during, the plague, they will then, when everything's all clear and we know that it's safe to do so, sign a copy for you and post you a signed copy. So you get 2 copies. You get one for yourself and then one for your collection. One to use and one to just put away in case, I don't know, the Schofields become super famous or something. Well, they're already pretty famous. They're really good at what they do. So people already know and respect them. Right, so this is a delicious drink. Thanks, Mitch. Speaking of which, it might be time for Mitch's Minute. All right, so in case you haven't heard, I described it several times on the last week. The idea is I send Mitch a question. Mitch reads the question whilst looking at a camera and then answers what, his opinions come fast and strong. So he's going to answer the question. Today's question is, oh no, wait, I've put it in the text. I keep doing that every time. Which one is Mitch? Number 8. So I can look this way and then go.
Right, Instagrammable drinks versus prompt service. Prompt service equals revenue. Revenue equals keeping your venue open. Probably best illustrated by 2 side-by-side venues. One's called Sistine Chapel, one's called Average Joe's. Sistine Chapel makes pretty looking drinks that take 5 minutes to make. They sell them for $16, they cost $4, and they give a profit of 10. A good profit of 12, sorry. Average Joe's takes 3 minutes to make a drink. They sell them for 12. They cost 2 to make and have a profit of 10. Over the course of the first hour and a half, Average Joe's has a drink at every single person's hand and have probably put up a revenue something to the tune of $300. It's 3 hours before Sistine Chapel have got a drink in everybody's hand, and they've only generated less than $100. Over the course of the night, Average Joe's, if they stay packed and get a drink in everybody's hand for the 30-person venue, have got $1,600, and Sistine Chapel has $144.
All right, how cool was that, right? Straight up with the math. He sent me a message afterwards saying that he probably should have pointed out that both of those venues are the same size venue and they both have one well. So they're both basically like the same setup as here, one well for a bartender to make cocktails from, and they're both the same square foot. So they fit the same amount of people in them, which I guess is important. But when you're put on the spot and you've got 60 seconds, you're just going to let it roll. So today I thought of the things that are floating about in the cabin. One of the more interesting things that people, I guess if I didn't own this, I'd be super jealous of the person who did own it. And I'd be even more upset that I can't go out and buy one. So I thought I would show it off. Because it's so cool, right? And let's hope it works properly this time. Because at the moment, it feels freezing cold to the touch. But you might have seen the Macallan ice bowler. This is a Macallan ice bowler, but it's a Balvenie Macallan ice bowler, if that makes sense. So from what I understand, the company that produced these a long time ago, a great many moons ago, sent this to the global marketing team for Balvenie. And the global marketing team for Balvenie were in no desire to buy, produce expensive ice mold point of sale. So they looked at it and they were like, this is very pretty, but no, it's okay, we're cool. And then it sat under a desk for years. And when the marketing team had to clean out, go paperless like 10 years ago, whatever, and I just started, the then global brand manager or marketing manager told me to throw this out. And I said, can I have it? And she said, no, you can't have it. We're not allowed to take stuff. So I told her that I would borrow it and use it for research purposes. And then if they ever wanted it back, you know, they could come around here and pry it from my dead hands. And she was like, fine, whatever. So I threw out all the other stuff that I was asked to throw out, but because this weighs a ton, she didn't want to throw it out herself. The box that had all the heavy stuff in it, basically. So I've got this, which is super cool. So I thought I would demonstrate what it does for those that, you know, weren't around when ice, you know, clear ice first come out. Everyone was carving the clear ice, Japanese style. So because this is a composition of like copper and alloy, it's warmer than the ice. Oh no, I've got the wrong size one. Oh, that sucks. Oh well, won't be a perfect sphere. And then because it's warmer than the ice, it just melts through. And then you've got this little kind of poppy thing to pop it back out, but all the water kind of rushes through underneath and comes out the side. Let's be honest, it comes out the side as well. And you've got a perfectly clear, perfectly spherical ice ball, but it's also got the Balvenie etched into, or debossed, I guess, embossed, debossed out of the top. Super cool. So you can imagine, as a big fan of Balvenie, I see this thing and I'm like, there's no way I'm throwing that in the bin. I'm not throwing that in the bin. It's just not going to happen. So I don't know where I put my Balvenie plinth, but I will use a different plinth today. And this plinth is my pot plinth, right? It looks like a mini pot still, but it's actually a plinth. And then we've got Waterford crystal. Hopefully that will fit the ice ball in it. Yes, it will. And then we got our Balvenie ice ball with Balvenie written in it. Super cool. Goes in there. Now, which of the great Balvenies do I like to drink on the rocks? Let's have a look. I am gonna have today on the rocks the Balvenie Week of Peat. Oh yeah, good stuff. Non-chill filtered, 48.3%. 14-year-old. This stuff is magic. I'm gonna keep saying this. If you're a brand ambassador and you're stuck at home and you want to promote your product and do a tasting on it with whoever's watching, get in touch, send me a video, and then do the tasting notes of whichever dram you've got in front of you. Hopefully I've got them here and I can taste them with you, and we'll do some, you know, you can add that to your KPIs. You can show your boss that you're doing stuff. We'll you know, we'll get the numbers back and you can talk about how many interactions you had. It'll be great. All right, so lose a bit of the nose because it's cold. Week of Peat is super awesome. Not many people know this, but the Balvenie doesn't have a heavily peated kind of reputation, because although they do put some peat in, they only put a small amount of peat in their home barley that they peat at home, and they don't put that as a forward flavor profile. But a few years ago, you know, customers, people that drink whiskey, started moving towards heavily peated, and they wanted that flavor. They were asking for it. And every year, used to be for the use of blending, Balvenie would produce towards the end of the year a couple of weeks worth of peated stuff. So they actually have stock of peated whiskies. This one though, come from back in the day when I think this, I can't remember this. I'll tell you what, I'll make a drink with this tomorrow, a different drink. I've got a drink in mind, and I'll try to get Gemma, the global brand ambassador. It might not be tomorrow, whichever day I can get her to explain the Week of Peat in her own words, because I'll never do it justice. Oh, it's funkin' delicious. Right, so we've given away the hat. I've tried to get people to buy that hat. I've talked about this. I kind of did a tasting, kind of did a cocktail. What else was it I had planned? I think that's about it. that's the end of the game. I might make one more simple mixed drink. Let's have a look. Right. Does anyone have a suggestion? Real fast so I can do something live. Nope. No suggestions? I'm moving forward. Right. So, what have I not made a drink with? Brandy. I love brandy. Who likes brandy? Right. Now, if I was asked to make a drink with brandy, what would I make? I'd probably go totally off the wall. Let's have a look. So, for those of you that like Guardians of the Galaxy, this is my I Am Groot. It's my I Am Groot. Love it. Right, so I'm going to make a shake and drink. I'm going to start with some Remy Martin. And I'm going to put 45 mils. Right. I'm going to put a few dashes of Angostura bitters. If I can find where I put it. Ah, there we go. Right. I'm going to put a tiny baby dash of sugar, because that's what this recipe originally had. Right. I'm going to put some Cointreau. This time 7 mils. I'm going to put some orgeat. Again, only a small amount of orgeat was going to go into this. Doesn't need to be a lot. And I'm using Monin because it doesn't go off before I've used it all. Right, now, next up, I'm going to use lemon juice. So can anyone guess what I'm making? Fucking Japanese cocktail. No. It's not a Japanese cocktail. Let me see. Knife. All right. Juice of half a lemon. In there. Goes there. Now, check this out. My metal straws finally came. So now, I'm going to find a spot here. I'm going to put all my metal straws in one of those. I'm going to taste stuff and ditch the metal straw down to the side. It needs a tiny dash. What was that? Now, I'm going to serve this on crushed ice. Has anyone guessed what it is yet? No, it's not a sidecar. It's close to a Mai Tai. What's a Mai Tai if you use a brandy base? Right? Dates back to, I think it's 1906. So it predates the Mai Tai. Starts with C. Right? Whoever guesses it, I'll send them out a prize of some sort. Right? I've got like some point of sale. I'm sure I can get some more. And I can send them out something cool. Oh God. Look at this work I've given myself to do. It's not Old Suffering Bastard. You haven't seen the float that goes on the top of it. There's a red wine float that goes on the top. Alright. So I've got my crushed ice now. Obviously, this mug is quite a bit bigger than the amount of crushed ice I've got. So I'm going to make a spear to build up some of the space in there. It's the shape of the mug. Perfect. That's my happiness. Right, so shake. Oh, nasty. Shake it up. Good hard shake. No, it's not a scorpion sting. Has anyone got it? No, still no one's got it. So, cocktail's called a Cosmopolitan Delight. The featured on the same page as me and my Cosmo and Dale DeGroff's Craft of the Cocktail, but he referenced it back to like Charlie Paul, or I can't remember the name of the guy, but he referenced it back to someone from as early as 1906, I think it was. And he said that this guy liked to put crazy stuff in his drinks, which at the time, you know, wasn't a done thing. But for me, when you look at the spec, it's so close to a Mai Tai. And like, it's super close to the Trader Vic's Mai Tai, but then it also has the float on the top, reminiscent of a New York sour. But, you know, if you look at a lot of other Mai Tai recipes, they put that float of dark rum on the top. It's kind of like a brandy Mai Tai, but predates the Mai Tai by quite a bit. So for mine, rather than just put any old red wine, I wanted to put a fortified red. So I'm going to use some vintage Dubonnet, which is delicious. Right. Happy day. Let's have a look at this. How tasty is it going to be? Is it going to be a 6? Is it going to be a 3? Oh, it's fucking tasty. Could have probably used a dash more sugar. Probably put too much lemon, but I like it. It's mouth-watering. Amazing. Well, I hope I've distracted you for whatever half an hour this has been. I hope you enjoyed it. Until tomorrow, and tomorrow hopefully I'll have more content for you. Until tomorrow, stay safe, stay inside, and congratulations, Kevin. Send me your address and I will post you out the book. Thank you so much. Dean, out. Is that out? Wait a minute. How do I do this? How do I?